Man, I couldn't even be bothered to change my shirt. I'm a little ticked. Got a direct message, or kind of a direct message, of the Tico Times. A little axe to grind with them on their story today. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Hey guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicanNow.com. TravelCostaRicanNow.com is a travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicanNow.com, fill out the 4-minute form. You'll be that much closer to the vacation of a lifetime with like you. Having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. Hey man, I keep saying it, I love the subscribes. I do, please do that. But YouTube just doesn't care. You subscribe doesn't mean you're gonna see any videos. But if you wanna be updated, you wanna keep updated, you wanna see the interviews we do, the travel tips we provide, the living here stuff, all that stuff, you gotta hit that notification bell. Hey man, if you wanna donate, you wanna show some appreciation for all the information in the last 12 years, I know I'd appreciate it. Maybe I could get better shirts. All right, man. So do you know what the Tico Times is? I know a lot of you do. Tico Times is used to be a newspaper for gringos here, us people that couldn't speak Spanish, and they would let you know what's going on in Costa Rica. Well, obviously, newspapers went out of favor. The smaller ones couldn't make any money, so they changed it to the internet. So Tico Times has been on the internet for quite some time now. Sometimes I've had issues with them in the past, we'll just say. It's kind of it's got some good stuff, but it's also very blatantly an advertisement rag. Hey man, capitalist, you got to make some money, but sometimes it's a little bit more blatant than other times. That's it, whatever. So the article today, I'm a little ticked off about. So what their article, I'll put a link to it if you haven't seen it already. It's basically the kind of the video I made the other day. I think I called the thumbnail "Kick in the Can." They're just kind of saying what's going on right now in Costa Rica, what's been going on, and I'm going to get to what I didn't like. I think this is a kind of a little bit of a propaganda piece, actually, a little bit pro vaccine, and I just don't think I think they could have maybe been a little bit more accurate in their storytelling. And I'm going to get to it in a minute. All right, so if you don't know, you get in Costa Rica two ways. You fill out your health pass, and if you're vaccinated, you got to prove it. If you're not vaccinated, still got to fill out your health pass, and you have to give proof of insurance that meets Costa Rica's requirements for your length of time. That's how it's been almost the whole time, or for quite some time. Well, during this time, though, they were trying to push these vaccine mandates. So I can't remember all these dates, okay? So I don't know, October, whatever it was, they were saying, you're gonna have to show your QR code that you're vaccinated. Well, people kind of went up in arms in that. And they got to stay for a bit, and the tourism board didn't like it. And so the government just pushed back and said, okay, here's what's gonna happen. If you want 100% capacity in your bar, your casino, your event, all those places, if you want 100% capacity, you need to check everybody's QR code before they enter to prove they're vaccinated. If you only want 50% capacity, you can let anybody in. They don't got to show anything. So that was kind of the government's pushback on that, which is, in Fortuna, it's just so funny. There's so many bars and restaurants. There's so many bars. Most of them don't even get up to 50% capacity a lot of times. So anyway, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But so what happened, and I did miss this. I just didn't know, and thank you, a couple of you guys pointed this out. So what's supposed to happen March 7th or 8th, you have to show that you're vaccinated to get in anywhere. So, except the essentials. You can get into the bank, or you get into the bank, it's the supermarket, the pharmacy, and the hospital, clinic, or whatever, but that's about all you could do. And that's kind of what this article is saying. This article, I particularly didn't like this. I'm just going to read a couple parts to it. It's not too long. One thing to note is that although you can be granted entry into Costa Rica in the absence of being fully vaccinated without a QR code illustrating your proof of vaccination, you are limited to where you can enter and what you can do in the country. Your list of activities can come to a standstill. A standstill. Taking you to, so she just says, yeah, the only places you may be able to go are the supermarket, grocery store, pharmacies, and hospitals. And her last sentence in that paragraph, probably not the Costa Rica dream vacation you were anticipating. Well, that hasn't been true. It hasn't been true. I've been making videos about this. Costa Rica's been doing an excellent job of kicking this down the road, kind of hoping the the restaurants, bars, and casinos kind of police themselves. I don't even know what to say. A, I'm not vaccinated, but B, I'm definitely not anti-vax. I am not anti-vax. I wanted my mom to get her vax, but I am anti-vaccine mandate, and I'm now for sure I am with what we know. We'll get to that in a minute too. But I'll bet you I've been, seriously, in the last 2 months, I've probably been to 100 bars and restaurants. I went rappelling. So this article kind of says, you may not even be able to do any of this stuff. It is across the board, including, so all the people that have to demand the vaccine. It is across the board, including adventure tourism. If you are thinking of going ziplining, rafting, jet skiing, even on horseback riding tours. You know, if you're going to say this, maybe, you know, you're talking for the Tico Times. Maybe you should walk around the country a little bit more if you're going to report about it, because you don't know anything you're talking about. I went rappelling a week and a half ago. I've been out on the lake on a fishing boat tour. I've done everything. I have not been checked once. Not even close. And then there's those, you know, these are anecdotal stories, and I'm definitely not saying everybody does this, but there's been those stories where if they did want 100% capacity, not here in Fortuna, I don't think there's any of those, but the people at the door or wherever would just go, show me something. Just pull out your phone and show me something. I'll let you in. Don't even worry about it. Now, are they checking these things maybe in San Jose? Yes. Somebody said they're checking the Denny's. They check at the Denny's. You can't get in Denny's by the airport unless you show proof of vaccination. And I'm sure there's some big hotels there. So if you're coming down on business, yes. If you're looking for prostitution in San Jose, yeah, some of those places might check. But the places like here in Fortuna definitely didn't get that memo. And I don't like her saying that, because if you don't know or you haven't seen any of our videos, you think, well, your list of activities can come to a standstill. Not happy with this. So again, it's supposed to come up March 8th. Everyone's got to show proof of vaccination to get into anywhere. And here's what I think is going to happen. We know too much now. We know about the Omicron variant. We know about the mask. We know who's dying. And the Omicron isn't even, you know, it's more like a cold. Yes, it hurts a lot of susceptible people. That's all true. But it's in every country doing the same thing. Whoop and whoop, and it hits the floor. And most countries by March 8th have already either hit the floor or they're going to hit the floor in cases. You're seeing it. England's already, you know, lifting their restrictions. Places in the United States, Denmark. By the time 2.5 weeks or so till March 8th rolls around, this will be ridiculous to require a vaccine mandate to get in some way. Place. And I'm sure they're going to be happy with that. They're going to be like everybody. They're going to be like, we got an excuse to lift this shit. We are tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. It's so fakey and ridiculous now. I kind of thought it always was, but whatever. And it's not in the sense that people didn't get hurt, but in the way they were handling it. So I think by the time March 8th comes around, I think why doesn't she tell you some of these things? So here's her last paragraph. She calls this final thoughts. Not all may agree with the mandate and the decisions of the Costa Rican government. However, if you are wanting to truly enjoy all that Costa Rica has to offer, getting out and experience this amazing country, then you will want to make yourself aware, following through with Costa Rica's QR code for proof of vaccination status. Who is she? She the doctor? She know what's going to happen the next 2 or 3 days? Has she been watching? Has she been following the science? If you actually follow the science and see what happens, you get the Omicron. Do people even know this anymore? Do they just watch one little news source? Do they know if they got the Omicron, they're protected out the ass? Do you know that? Now, yeah, if you're susceptible and you haven't had any of them, gay man, get your vaccine and stuff. But to start requiring them after this stuff is almost getting we're going to have to live with it, right? We're going to have to live with it. So I don't know. My bet, I've been right on almost everything, seriously. And I know a lot of you have too, but I'm almost guaranteed. You know what? I'll even direct message me. I'll bet anybody $20 that March 8th vaccine mandates that you have to show your stuff to get in places here that aren't supermarkets. I bet it doesn't happen. And if it does, it'll just be they said it. You know, they'll just have said it just like they've been saying, and people just do what they want. That's where it's going. or they're just going to lift them. They'd be smarter to lift them. But all right, man, that's it. Freaking Tico Times. I'm Michael Allen, travelcostaricannow.com. Peace, guys. You know, this video really only helped me. I had to do this. Again, if I don't say this stuff, man, I won't be able to sleep tonight. Things are going to pop up, man. Always do your homework and research when you think about living or traveling anywhere. And if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to put my videos up against anybody's. Really. 12 years of doing this shit. 13. Free information, basically. Laters.